Konnichiwa, and welcome back to Wrestling is Her. I'm your host, Raja, and I'm joined by my co-host of Mini Concussions, John.
Hello.
And boy howdy, bowdy, and rowdy, where are my dogs at? I would imagine it's fairly safe to say that the opening night of Stardom's 5-Star Grand Prix lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it's pretty safe.
Starting off, though, before we travel the news and notes from elsewhere across the world of her and the sport of queens.
Nice.
I would be remiss if we didn't address the we didn't curse her gorilla in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And wish Saya Kamitani a very speedy and nice recovery from her injury.
We like to say a very, very Laurel and Hardy recovery.
Yes.
And listen, all joking.
Every single joke that ever was.
All of it in a box and pushed off the plane. Who put those motherfuckers? The snakes on the plane always comes to my head. Okay, so we didn't do this.
No, this was not our fault, and we're sticking to it.
It was not us. Okay, so we just put out our opinion that we couldn't figure out. Remember, Raja even wanted to know.
Yes, we asked for everyone else to tell us.
She's like, can you please let us know?
I want to love Saya Kamitani.
Yeah, what we're missing.
And
then God didn't love Saya Kamitani.
Oh gosh. And we felt bad despite obviously this not being our fault.
Yeah.
But
even when she was climbing, Raja's like, don't.
I was like, please don't do that.
Don't climb that.
I hate it when they do those things.
Don't climb that. But we'll talk about the injury a little bit later on.
We will. First, we need to talk about some other things that have been going on in the world of women's wrestling.
Absolutely.
So, I think we should start off with probably the biggest thing that happened this week, which is Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view.
Who would have ever thought that was going to be the biggest thing that happened?
I know. When you looked at it beforehand on paper, you were like, yeah. It'll probably be okay.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
We'll watch it.
They were collective injuries.
Yes. And this show went through so many changes.
Yeah.
And leading into it, it was like we didn't even know what the main event was going to be.
We honestly, though, to our credit, we did not doubt He Who Is Tony.
No. We didn't, because we still bought it. We still watched it live because we knew that despite all the changes and injuries and all that the matches were going to be really good.
Spectacular.
And they were.
Spectacular. And the best thing they did of the night, Raja.
And the best thing they did in the entire night was put Athena versus Willow Nightingale for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship as the main event, closing out the show.
Harumph.
And this is the first time that women have main evented a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, so it's a huge deal.
Yes.
On top of the fact that this was a rubber match. Mm-hmm. These two have a lot of history.
Right.
Willow had a lot of fire coming into this match. Like, even as it was starting, you could tell the crowd was like pro Willow all the way.
Yeah.
And of course, we love Athena. Mm-hmm. There's no secret there.
Right.
So we're excited to see her in anything. But coming into this match, it just had that big match feel. And I was so excited when I saw that it was ending the show, that it was on top.
I remember as it was going, you were over there checking notes, and I really didn't know what you were doing at first, to be honest with you. Because normally you don't mess with anything during a big event.
No, I pay attention.
You're very glued.
Yes.
And you were like looking through notes, and I honestly, it wasn't registering.
Right.
And so you were just like, I think that. No, you asked me first. You're like, did we see anywhere about that going on last?
Yeah, no.
And I was like, no, what? No, not at all. No. And
it went from Pac and Claudio firmly in the main event to being billed as a double main event, even during the course of the show.
Yeah. To
getting to the point where Athena and Willow are on last. And I'm glad that that's the way they went, because it felt right.
Yeah, and it even, I mean, honestly, it played out correctly, because
it did.
That match, wow.
It stole the show, yeah.
Yeah.
This, of course, was Athena's 12th title defense in her now longest Ring of Honor women's title reign in history.
Right.
So congratulations to her. They pulled out all the moves, including moves from Ring of Honor greats from the past, like Sarah Del Rey, Daisy Hayes, Sumi Sakai, and
Very
Mischief.
cool. Yeah.
It was like a love letter
Right.
to the women of Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
which was so beautiful.
The ones who didn't get to be seen on some form or fashion, you know, a lot of new fans, and some for the ones who knew, they knew. You know, I love Ian Riccoboni because the fact of little things like when you were telling about her being the longest reigning Ring of Honor Women's Champion with the most defenses, you know, it was just funny because he has little stats to make things sound good.
Yes.
So he would be like, she is the longest reigning women's champion in Delaware on Tuesdays after the poker game.
He would.
And
he would know that too.
yeah, this is the highest paid attendance for a Ring of Honor event in New Jersey. Like,
he's very specific.
It's so
very
funny. It's so
detail-oriented.
funny because it sounds very positive, right? And I love him for that. He's got so much positive energy.
He does, and we love listening to him, especially with Caprice by his side. Those two are just
they're just
a great team.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when it comes across that people really like one another. We were talking about that with a tag team in Stardom.
Yes.
That
it just seems like they mesh well.
I mean, we were talking about Rose Gold.
Yes.
And it just seems like they're truly friends.
Yeah, like they actually really like each other.
Right.
And you don't always get that off of teams.
No, rarely get that, really.
Yeah, out of anything.
Yes.
So during this match, of course, they brought everything, including their own big moves, which the O-Face and the Babe with the Powerbomb both got kicked out of.
Right.
In this match,
Yeah.
which was just mind-blowing on its own. But of course, Athena ended up hitting a second O-Face, putting a Willow in the crossface, and making her pass out to retain the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship.
Now, do you remember ever seeing the Eclipse? Now, it really could have, and you guys can tweet me right now and just be like, oh, if they were tweeting me, Raja, what would they do? Where would they tweet us?
They would tweet at Wrestling Is Her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Just tag us there.
Yeah,
let us know we're wrong.
Yeah, so anyway, if we are wrong, you could let us know. But I don't remember the Eclipse being kicked out of.
Me either, to memory.
You know, there might be like that one time or the, the big match. But the Eclipse was one of those finishers. It
was scary.
Yeah, they protect it. And it is a scary finish.
It is.
If it's not done correctly, it's an ugly finish, but it is a beautiful, beautiful finish.
And it was so crazy because putting this match on last, having Willow's family in the crowd's reaction to Willow Nightingale, it all kind of felt like it was trending toward a title change.
Yes, and if Tony Khan hasn't changed a whole lot over the past few months, you know, like if you've wondered, because maybe you've seen Collision, maybe not. If you've seen Collision, you're like, oh, okay, well, this is growth.
Yes.
This is like, we love Dynamite. It's in its own package.
Yeah.
I love the heart attack in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
like
just
no breathing room.
Nonstop trying to, you know, figure out what happened at the end.
Right.
It's like
trying to go back and remember everything.
Yeah. It's like I need a counselor, and I love that, honestly. But, oh my God, when Collision started, I'm like, okay, I really love this. I really like the aesthetic. I really like letting things breathe and having the same people every week. And,
and the longer matches, the storytelling.
It's like, it's a little taste of Japanese wrestling, kind of.
It is, and it's so different from Dynamite, but it's hard to believe that it's put on by the same company.
And speaking of that, going back to this pay-per-view, we're sitting there still with Tony. I mean, it's kind of a feel-good company. He's a feel-good kind of guy.
Right, give the fans what they want.
You don't have to lose in your hometown like certain crazy, old, out-of-touch, evil billionaires.
Right.
You know, he just kind of lets people win, and, you know.
He does what you want.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and even when he doesn't, it's like, all right, you.
Yeah. Oh, get it.
You dirty dog. It's not like, oh, we're going to take Phil, you know.
Right.
You don't want to, like, find him and kick his dog or something.
Right.
But, man, we enjoyed this. Now, I'm saying, we enjoyed this Raja gave me the most priceless Raja reaction. And hopefully all of you will hear this at some point or see this at a live event at some point. Raja has this priceless reaction that is, I've seen a couple of movies where people have gone through unbelievable amounts of harrowing danger and problems. and imagine they're making it across the nation and they finally get to this, opus. They get to this big event that they've been working toward and the place is burnt down. And there's like this quietness, right? There's this silence for a moment. And then the tension is usually broken in the movie with, let's just say, the female, right? That's like,
right.
Just like this. It's this weird cross between maniacal laughter, satisfaction,
right?
Somebody else's life sucks as bad as mine.
Right.
Like all these things.
It's that bittersweet laughter.
It's all these things. It's a deep, it's from your soul.
That's how I let my emotions out.
If I was doing my vocal coaching, I'd be like, well, that wasn't from your throat. No, you got that.
I've laughed a good few times this week.
That was your diaphragm. That was good. That was,
Listen, I am one of the world's biggest Willow Nightingale supporters.
Yes.
I have loved Willow Nightingale since the first time I saw her. Yeah. I adore her, but
Absolutely.
This felt like the right move to me. I don't want Athena's run to end yet.
No.
I want her to keep going.
Yeah.
Maybe take it to London.
Right.
Maybe take it to All Out. Maybe do it until the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I don't know.
Right.
But I feel like she's not done yet.
Well, afterwards, I looked at you and I said, great champions must have great championship defenses.
Absolutely. And this was one of them.
And the reason this became a great championship defense is because everybody felt that it was a worthy contender.
Yes.
We believed that she could lose it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of times,
a few times there.
Championship matches can be made less than by the fact of we don't really believe you're going to lose the title.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that happens a lot.
Yeah, it happened in the Claudio match.
Yeah.
Like nobody gave Pac a chance in hell.
in those matches, it tends that the challenger has to
prove themselves.
Make us believe during the match. Now it happens, and that's the moment when people will get into that. The crowd was dead through that whole match.
Yeah.
It was a cold match. Pac had to build them into it.
And he did.
Yeah, they believed it by the end.
Yes, but this one, Athena and Willow went into it. You were like, Willow could beat her for this very easily.
And it seems like this is the thing. Oh, they're not going to have Willow lose two big things in a row.
Right.
Willow just lost the strong title.
Yeah.
And to Julia.
Exactly. And it kind of felt like they did that so that she could make room to be the Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah, exactly. We know she kind of got it by right place, right time.
Right.
We, get all that. But at the same time, she was on a rise when it went from she was facing Mercedes and it didn't matter if she won or lost. She was going to come out as a winner for rubbing elbows.
Yes, exactly. Just from the exposure.
Exactly. Being in that main event makes you bigger.
Yes.
Winning that main event
kind of puts you on a track.
Put a rocket on her.
Yeah.
Really, really, you hear that a lot. We use it too much. It was truly strapped to this girl on this one.
Yes.
And so we felt that when she lost that, we're fine. Okay, she went to Japan. She had that Japanese, and it kind of sucked that she got hurt when she was there. So there again, let's make up for that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We had to delay the match.
Yeah.
And that all sucked, right? And so here it is.
She won the Owen.
Yeah.
And then she's coming into this match with that belt.
Super momentum.
She's just on the rise, and we were like, oh, she's gonna knock Athena off.
Which we would have been good either way.
Yes.
But yeah, this is the thing we got to give Athena credit for, other than her awesomeness, her awesome character work, her looking at Willow's parents and laughing and pointing afterwards, all the wonderful heel stuff.
Oh man.
Is the fact that she won this match in the most non-Toni Storm way possible. She won this match without the help of anyone.
Exactly.
Without the help of cheating whatsoever.
It was completely clean.
Yeah, no cheating.
Yeah.
And it was a straight up match, straight up physical contest. There was straight up kickouts. There was comebacks. There was hope spots. There was everything you want in a championship defense. And she won because she was the better woman on that night.
Yes.
But she also respected, which was a huge part of the story on this.
She did.
They have not had her respect anyone in so long because her character, it lost a lot of respect. She went from being Ember Moon. She went from being the very talked about person that was like ready for the main roster. Mm-hmm. Okay, she's going to come to the main roster. She's going to rule everything. She, went from being undefeated in NXT, and every time you've seen her, she was just killing it, right?
Right.
And the huge entrances, my God.
Yeah.
I could tune in just to see the Ember Moon entrance.
Yeah, it was always epic.
And we have all this behind her, and she kind of, it fizzles, right? For whatever reason, whoever's fault, it fizzles.
Yeah.
And we know it wasn't her fault, but let's just say she goes to the Indies, and instantly it's Athena. And without the big pageantry, without the pomp and circumstance, with all the things that the machine had given her. Mm-hmm. And she had to kind of go back to who was the Athena that took her to the dance to start with.
Right. She had to rediscover herself.
Yeah, but rediscover herself in wrestling today versus 10 years ago, versus even 5 years ago. It's completely different.
Yeah. Different landscape
and
completely.
People are spoiled for choice now. I mean, it's like whatever you want to see, whenever you want to see it, whatever dose you want it.
Yeah.
It's out there. So, having to come back and do that when people are expecting, if they come to see the Ember Moon show and they come and you've got you're holding a sparkler.
You're like, what the heck?
At a Warrior Wrestling show or something. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So even on Dark, we talked about it last week. But when she found her niche, whatever caused it, whether it was an idea from somebody, whether it was like, okay, look, Jody, we're going to do this.
Right.
And it worked. Or it was truly a moment of, you piece of crap, I'm mad. It
was almost a shocking Kenta-like turn, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm on Dark every week. But the thing is, the hardest working woman in the biz, she has worked every show they'll let her. And she has been on, Dark every week and then Ring of Honor every single week. And actually, Caprice mentioned the same thing, like this, she's on every episode.
Yeah, she doesn't miss it. She wants to defend her title, whether it's an Proving Ground match or a proper championship match. She wants to fight somebody.
Yeah, no matter who it's against. And it's always memorable.
Yes.
So, and we've seen some great matches with her already, but that's why all of this coming around means so much, because at the end of this match, she shook Willa's hand and she really showed her the proper respect.
Yeah, like this is our moment.
Yeah.
Let's share it a little.
Yeah, I mean, let's not lose the fact that it wasn't just two women that main evented Ring of Honor.
Right.
It was two black women that main evented
big deal.
Ring of Honor. And that makes it all the more special to me and to a lot of the fans. My God, how could you not love that?
Yeah, and they put on a show and they killed each other.
Yeah,
and it was amazing.
They're forever connected.
Yeah, this story's not over. I imagine their story is going to continue.
And you know what the even better part of all that is?
What?
I can't imagine two other people that could have done exactly what they did.
No.
And so it wasn't the fact that it was women. It wasn't the fact that it was black women. It was the fact that these two women, these two wrestlers, these two wrestlers went out and had this amazing match and this amazing thing. And oh, by the way, they're females. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
They're African American. You know what I'm saying? It's like very cool to me.
It is. Nobody could have taken this slot other than these two. At this point in time, it was their place. Yeah. And they ran with it.
So that, I know we beat this like a dead horse, and
it was a big deal.
But we've been very excited about this.
Yes. So a few other things in that realm of like AEW. Obviously, we recently had a couple matches. Britt Baker beat Kayla Sparks, and then Taya Valkyrie beat Sky Blue in a kind of crazy win with Sky Blue's recent rise to popularity and all of that. But on Collision, Taya called out Britt Baker for a match on Dynamite this Wednesday. So she's looking to get some really big, and she wants to get somewhere.
Nice to see her get a win.
Yes.
And
because she hasn't been.
No, she's had some rough goes of it. And she's had, let's face it, not the best matches. It can be the conditions. It can be, you guys have 10 minutes until you're getting ready to go out. And then you're in the ring. And, for instance, Kid Cash, one of my mentors in the sport, he told me about one of his first TV matches. And I think it was the one with Scotty Too Hottie back before he was Too Hottie. Seriously, it was like a Sunday Night Heat after Sunday Night.
Right.
It was a Shotgun. It was a Shotgun Saturday night after Shotgun was cool. Like, they took it out of the bar and just made it an afterthought. Where it was like that extra thing on a taping.
Right.
And it didn't have its special liveness anymore or anything. But he was, it was one where he got his leg messed up, actually. It was like one of his things. But he told me, they're like 10 minutes and then you get in the ring and they're like 7 minutes.
Right.
Or you're getting ready to go out. It's like 7 minutes, guys. So you're having to cut things out, right?
Right.
And then you get in the ring and they're like 3 minutes. So you get no comeback. You get no, and so you never know what's happened to go into a match. That's why I'm kind of forgiving on TV matches.
Right.
Over like a pay-per-view match.
Right, where you have more time to
you just don't know.
Work and prepare.
Moxley could have talked too long and you got to cut out your whole entire comeback.
Yeah, but Taya has sort of struggled to find her place.
Yeah.
I think she came in looking to be like this big hero that was going to take down the monster that was Jade.
Right.
But she's kind of turned into like this almost bitter veteran that she's not had that shot yet. And she used the term homegrown in her promo, which makes me wonder. I know she just had a match against Toni Storm, okay?
Yeah.
But there's always the possibility that she could do some teaming up.
Yeah.
With some outcasts.
and it would help her.
It would.
Honestly.
It would give her that sort of place among the roster.
It's funny. I was recently watching old episodes of Lucha Underground, and I got to see her and Johnny like just, a few years back.
Right.
And it's funny how much everyone has changed since that show. You go back and see like Prince Puma and all this stuff. It's really
so many good people on that show.
Oh, it's a great show. I love that show. But, otherwise, it's really cool for Taya.
It's going to be fun to see how the match goes and like how it turns out, because my brain says, Britt Baker is going to go over her. But you just don't know if there's interference, if something crazy happens, if Taya just comes out there and decides to turn it on.
Yeah, you mentioned Kayla Sparks a second ago because she had the match with Britt.
Yes.
And of course, it was just an enhancement match, right?
Yes.
So Kayla, if you guys ever get bored and want to look something cool up, go look at Kayla Sparks and check out her career a little bit. She's had a heck of a journey just on her fitness journey, and it's very inspiring. So there you go.
Yes. So definitely check that out on Dynamite on Wednesday. Another little stat I have here, stat about stat. Chris Statlander, with her defense of the TBS title against Marina Shafir on Rampage last week, has officially become the first AEW champion to defend her title on all three brands in the same reign. Collision, Dynamite, and Rampage. So congratulations to her.
Wow, let's give it up for Stat.
Her nice little run so far.
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's some pretty big things coming for the TBS champion.
Well, yeah. She's due, man.
She is. We need like a proper feud.
Stat was due a while back, and there's so many that I would like to see. I want to see some of the Stardom ladies come over, and I want to see some of our women in AEW go to Stardom.
We definitely need some crossover.
Yeah. And Chris is one of those, I think she's custom made for it.
Yes, absolutely. She'd fit like a glove in Stardom.
Absolutely.
And she would learn so much, I think.
Chris Statlander versus Julia.
That would be amazing.
I think it would pull out. We know that Beast is in there.
Yes, Julia has a way of like pulling things out of you didn't know were there.
It's really strange.
And she enjoys it.
Because after we made the comment the other night, after a Julia match, you'll see her opponent just like looking at her. And
just like in awe.
Yeah, no matter what kind of beating they just took.
Yeah.
They're looking at her. And like, for instance, the match the other night, Julia starts getting beat on a little bit, and all of a sudden she shifts gears.
Yeah.
She
enjoys it.
As soon as she took that bump on the chairs.
Oh, no.
And we'll talk about it, but as soon as she took the bump on the chairs,
oh, God,
it's like
she woke up all of a sudden. Like she wasn't in the match before, and then she came into her body all of a sudden.
It truly felt like she wasn't in the match. Like, because it's kind of, tournament matches are somewhat cold normally.
Yes.
Just by nature.
Yes, especially if it's someone that's new to the tournament.
Yeah, and they do their best. Like, a lot of them was, this is a feud, this has a reason.
Yes.
All this stuff.
Yes.
This wasn't like that. This was more of a cold match. And
let's just see what we can do.
Didn't stay cold very long, did it?
No.
Right.
It heated up fast. Honestly, if we're going to keep the TBS title, that sort of heavy hitter belt, I wouldn't mind to see Chris face Willow in a match. Like, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
If Willow needs something else to do, after that match.
Yeah, and I would like to see programs like Collision. We were talking about Collision. One of the beautiful things about Collision is they have went back to the same thing week after week, and it's not old, it's not rehashed, it's not like, oh, this week we've got the Intercontinental title match between the same two guys that's had it 1,000 times.
Right. No, it's all completely different every week.
Yeah, it's part of the story, and it's building. A lot of Bullet Club Gold got over because of the way they've done Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we've had Collision for a month, and Bullet Club Gold has just built this little story for themselves and become huge.
Otherwise, they would be floundering right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on Dynamite.
Yeah.
They don't feel like a Dynamite team, which is weird because it's all AEW.
Yeah, it is all AEW, but I think you have to have a certain place in the pecking order.
You do.
And over
or else
there,
you don't go anywhere.
Right, you get to build.
Yes, you do. Absolutely.
So it's very strange.
It is. So let's talk about something that was announced for WWE this week. So, of course, SummerSlam's coming up.
Yes, and it's my God, listen, boys and girls, that card.
Oh, man.
And for me to say this, okay, I'm not hating on WWE, guys, but I do kind of have a hard time sitting through it sometimes.
Yes.
When you watch incredible back and forth action, and it's hard sometimes, and sometimes it's fantastic.
Yes.
And so I sit through it hard sometimes to see the fantastic.
Yes.
This SummerSlam card looks fantastic.
It does so far, yes. There hasn't been much announced for it yet, but everything that has been announced.
The maybe card that was put out.
The maybes are incredible.
Yeah.
I hope they become confirmed.
Yeah.
This match is confirmed. Yes. It is for the WWE Women's Championship. Asuka will be defending against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair in what promises to be just a wild and crazy match.
Yeah, I mean, so at the place they're having this SummerSlam is going to be gigantic.
Yeah.
It's huge. Yes. I mean, it's huge.
SummerSlam's usually one of my favorite shows of the year. Like, it always turns out to be just incredible every year.
It was always sad for me. I love SummerSlam. And some of my favorite shows ever are SummerSlams.
Right.
But it was always sad for me because it meant I had to go back to school.
Oh, yeah, because it's at the beginning of August.
A lot of times it would fall back in the day. It would fall right on the Sunday before I started school the next day.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know how it always did that, but there was like a stretch.
It's your going back to school present.
Yeah, there was a stretch where it would, and I was always so depressed because I hated school so much.
Right.
That it was like, oh, I'm enjoying SummerSlam. Like, yay.
Oh, I gotta get up early tomorrow.
Yeah, so it don't have that anymore, so thank God.
I'm definitely interested to see Asuka against these two powerhouses.
Oh my God.
Like, Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair are scary in a match together, just against each other.
Yeah.
You throw Asuka in there, it's like she's...
The very fact they rhyme.
Yes.
Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair.
They should be a tag team.
Don't give them any ideas. I mean, who would ever beat them?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Asuka.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out if they're ready for Asuka.
Oh, no one's ready for Asuka.
I don't know.
Okay, so as far as announcements go this week, we kind of got a heavy dose of them during the Stardom show.
Yes, we did.
For upcoming, of course, in Japanese wrestling, they tend to do that at a big show. They'll like dump all the upcoming stuff on you all at once.
Because all the eyes are on it.
Yes, because everyone's there, everyone's watching.
And the girls know too. They were all dressed in new clothes and
yes,
new
they
hair.
were ready.
Yes.
They were ready. But we have some exciting stuff coming up soon in Stardom. Starting August 19th with Midsummer Festival 2023, they've announced a match for that card, which is a 6-person tag match featuring Nene Takahashi and Momoshige Nakanishi, also known as Nana Momo.
Right.
An excellent tag team that stretches all the way back to All Japan.
Oh my God.
When these two were just debuting.
Yeah.
So they've been going since 96.
Yeah.
Like they were a tag team before Stardom even existed.
Right.
So they're getting back together with a yet to be named third person known as X. We don't know who that's going to be yet.
God, I hope it's somebody else that is also from that time period.
That would be so cool. Against Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, and their mystery partner known as XX, who we don't know who that's going to be either.
How cool would it be if we had some more throwbacks, such as, I don't know, somebody with a Toyota in their name? You know, like, I don't even know how.
Maybe.
I just don't even know how possible it is.
Right, yes.
But it's something that we've even talked about for you guys. For anybody who is newer to the world of women's professional wrestling, especially the Japanese women's professional wrestling.
Yes.
You know, going down that long road of All Japan Women with us.
Yeah.
You know, that's something we're going to see how things go and about how much on the extra content that we want to do when we get the Patreon all fired up and all this stuff. Because right now, look, we're all ready for suggestions or whatever.
Yes, absolutely. Tell us what you want.
Yeah,
we can do it.
What do you want, right? And that's what we'll get to. But
maybe we'll take a walk down the Queen's Road.
Right. That's one of our thoughts.
But Nene and Momoshige, they were tag team champions 4 times. Like they know what they're doing as a team. So Momo and Starlight Kid better watch out.
I love it. I loved giving a nod.
Yeah, me too. And then probably one of the more exciting announcements, they announced for September 10th, they're having their Stardom Dream Tag Team Festival for 2023, which of course is a fan-voted event.
Yes.
Where the fans voted for these 12 tag teams that would team up, and they're currently holding the second round of voting.
The fans are sick.
They're holding the second round of voting to see what the matches are going to be.
Right.
But we know all 12 tag teams well. We know 11 tag teams because one of them probably isn't going to happen now. But I'll just run down these 12 tag teams really quick. Mayu Iwatani and Saki Kashima.
Oh my God.
The high-speed champion. Utami Hayashishita. Take a shot.
You almost messed it up. Yeah.
And Micah.
Yes.
A dream team.
Just think of Utami and Micah.
I just like the sound of them together.
It's our dream team.
Yes. Nende Takahashi and Ruaka. So we got like old school and one of the younger girls there. Natsupoi and Saori Anu, which is an actual tag team.
And that's where
got a title shot.
That's where the sickness comes from everyone, is because let's make them be together as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, exactly. Hazuki and Natsuka Tora.
Yeah.
Which is a little Oedo tie there, throwback.
I noticed a lot of Oedo tie in this.
Yes, speaking of which, Momo Watanabe and Momo Kogo, I think people were being funny there, teaming the Momos together.
Yes.
Mirai teaming with Mai Sakurai, Mariah May and Hanan.
Yes.
And Mariah May's just glad it's not Mai Sarai.
Yeah, because on her socials, if anybody keeps up with the Mariah May socials, it's a wonderful follow.
It's a riot.
It is nonstop riot, which even makes her match stranger when we talk about it. But she's been talking about her being a stalker.
Yes, apparently the other May is following her.
Yes.
The next tag team would have been Saya Kamatani and Mina Shirakawa.
Yes.
Of course, Saya's probably not going to be back by September 10th, but we'll see what happens there. They teamed...
Did you see what Lady C tweeted?
No.
After the injury?
What did she tweet?
Said she's a phoenix. I'm sure she'll be fine.
Thanks. Lady C was very helpful
Lady
during
C
that whole
was,
mess.
Lady C got over with me as soon as the injury happened.
As soon as the ref said doctor, she like ran.
Dude, she was grabbing medical stuff.
Yeah, she was on top of it.
Yeah.
So they teamed Hina and Rena together.
Yes,
twins.
Of course they did. Because we all would.
Yes. Starlight Kid teaming with Azumi. Yes. Little high-speed rivalry there.
Oh my God. How will they coexist?
And Julia teaming with Suzu Suzuki.
How will they coexist?
They might just fight each other.
Yeah, for fun.
And the final thing that they announced is on October 29th, they're having Stardom Halloween Dark Night 2023.
I'm so excited.
So this Halloween card is the first Halloween show they've had since 2019. Of course, they had the Stardom Mask Fiesta from 2014 to 2019 every year around Halloween. And that's at the same time as the Goddess of Stardom Tag League.
Right.
So they just stick this Halloween thing in there, but they haven't had an event like this since 2019, and they're bringing the Halloween back, I guess, this year.
Well, I mean, Halloween is so much fun, right?
It is.
It's just fun, and just to see what happens. And I know over in New Japan, they don't have an official event, but the guys always try to dress up.
Yeah, if there's a show around Halloween, they'll like some of them will wear costumes and be silly about it, and you know the girls are gonna go all out for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And they need to.
I can't wait to see what it's like. I loved the little video they made with the ghosts in the haunted house.
Yeah, because it was so cheesy.
It was.
That it gives me hope, because normally Stardom isn't cheesy like that. They're not.
Right.
They're not like low budge.
Yeah, no, but it's like they just threw that together last minute with some royalty free ghosts and stuff. Oh, it was so cute. I'm so excited.
The royalty-free wrestling event would be fantastic, by the way. I think you just gave me an idea.
Oh, no. You have to use, names that they'd never use somewhere else.
Yeah, use names, but use, the fake names,
Yeah.
That would be great.
All royalty-free music.
Royalty-free music. And even if we put it, on Fight or something, have it where you can see that it was, a program we're using. That's one of the...
It has the watermark in the corner because we don't pay for the premium version.
Like the old Divx watermark or something,
Oh, gosh.
That would be fantastic.
That would be hilarious. All right. Well, with that, I think it's time we talk about the results of the opening night of the 5-star Grand Prix.
This mad woman sitting across from me right now, this mad woman was like, you know what we need to do? Now, granted, listen, this was after freaking 5 hours. and we're sitting up, and even the birds are outside, looking in the window going, guys,
you okay?
You guys gonna sleep? But so we're at the end of the night, and she looks over, she's like, you know what we need to do? I'm like, what? When we get up, we need to watch it again.
And just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything.
And take notes through it. I'm like, I don't think I could forget these matches if I tried.
No. But see, the first time we watch something, we don't sit there with notebooks and take notes. We're zoned in, paying attention.
Yeah, we're the people that go to a concert and don't hold our iPhone up.
Oh, gosh. It's just so hard to look away. How are you going to look down and write something or type something on your phone? You might miss something.
Funny enough, we did miss something.
We did somehow, and we still can't figure out how we missed this spot.
It's stupid.
It is. It's ridiculous. We'll tell you when we get there.
All right.
Okay, so we started the night off with a pre-show match. It was a trios gauntlet, and May, Sarah, Thekla, and Mai Sakurai won that gauntlet. So I thought it was cute because after this match, in their post-match comments, Thekla and May were kind of like, so are you going to join Donna Del Mondo? We have a lot of cool stuff. We've got money.
Yeah.
And May was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's, I'm not sure that's a good fit.
I'm not sure the rainbow happy puzzle piece
Don't
girl.
let the rainbow fool you, though. We've already established the fact.
Fighting wise, May definitely would fit in Donna Del Mondo.
Yeah, she's a mad woman.
And she's been teaming with Micah some recently. So, you never know.
Which we're worried about.
Well, yes, we are. The whole Suzu, May, Micah team. Yes, we're very worried about that.
Yes. It feels like that's going to happen. So
then we got into the main card. And we started with a Blue Stars match, Micah versus Hanan.
Well, first, honestly, the production.
Oh, whoa, yeah, sorry. Oh my goodness. We have to talk about the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the matches made me gloss right over it.
No, I mean, it's understandable, but going through the history and just the beginning, the way they did it, they had these I want to say sheets. I'm sure there's
a giant screen.
I'm sure there's a professional name for it, but they dropped 4 bed sheets around the ring.
They did.
Like threw a projector on them. But
it's what it looked like.
It was amazing because of the feeling that it gives us. And it went through from the 2012 first champion to now, first tournament winner. And it showed the tournament win, how they won, the winner, blah, 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 all the way up, obviously, to the current roster. And you could see the women behind the sheets.
Yes, as they were playing through the kind of intro with the space and the stars.
Because I was totally marking out.
Yes.
I was like, look, you can see them.
There they are.
There they are. I was so excited.
How can you not be?
Yeah.
And then they drop the sheets and you see them all standing there in their poses.
Like murder dolls.
Of course. You know they're scary, but they look so pretty in the moment.
and we noticed, conspicuous by her absence, Bobby.
Yes.
I'll use my little gorilla Monsoon. He would say it on every show with that we didn't have a manager.
Yes.
And
hold on, let me redeem myself. Utami Hayashishita was not there.
Right. And Twitter noticed.
Yes, of course they did. Everyone noticed because she's been gone and we've been waiting to see her back in Stardom.
Yeah.
We were like, where's Utami? Is she even here? Did she make it back?
Did she get face tattoos? Yeah.
No.
No. Oh, that's another
God.
Japanese federation. I'm sorry.
Put F's in the chat for the face tattoos.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yes, the entrance was amazing. And of course they called them one by one up to the stage and they all stood there and it looked so amazing and we were so excited and ready to just get into this because I don't think we were actually ready when it happened.
We were not ready to the fact that when they got to halftime.
Oh gosh. I was like, has it been 5 matches already?
Yeah, Raja got redneck and she's sitting there, she's like, what? They're taking a break right now? Like, we haven't had 5, and she named off.
I started counting them.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, and
then I looked at the time and it was like, it's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, an hour and a half that legitimately felt like 20 minutes.
Oh God, it went by so fast. I was so sad.
Yeah, it was like, but it wasn't because it didn't live up to it. It lived up to it too much.
It was just, your heart was racing the whole time and you're so like into it that you don't even notice.
What match was it that my heart actually was racing?
Oh God.
Do you remember that? And I made you feel it.
I do, yeah. It could have been any number of matches. It might have been, I think it was the Starlight Kid match.
It was the Starlight Kid match.
For various reasons.
Okay. So.
All right, so let's start with the first match out of the Blue Stars, Micah versus Hanan. So Hanan, of course, was sort of like one of the newer, younger girls coming into this, and Micah is on a tear recently.
Micah came out looking like her.
Yes. She's like, I don't need a new look. I don't need anything fancy. I'm just going to come out here and kick your butt.
And she did. She had the face that was just like,
yes.
I'm just going to come out here and do this.
Yes. And Hanan tried, bless her.
She tried. She tried, but I never felt like she had a chance in hell.
No, me either. I didn't feel, she never got like that one over on Micah the whole time.
No, Micah dominated this.
Yes. And it's no surprise that Micah won this match to gain her first 2 points of the tournament. And she's convinced by her post-match comments that she is going to win this tournament. She said she has tricks up her sleeve and she's ready.
I wouldn't put it past her, honestly. I mean, it's. I believe it. I believe in Micah.
It was a hot opener. Hanan attacked right from the go, and it just. I mean, it was over too fast.
You talk about backfiring. It's like
bad idea.
Everybody's telling Hanan all week, like, what you got to do is get a fast start. Nobody's expecting it. We're all pretty respectful around here, and we'll let the entrances come out and all this stuff. Just attack her beforehand. And
what they failed to mention is that you shouldn't do that against Micah.
Yeah. Micah took exception and
put her in her place.
Holy ball, man! It was nuts, but it was quick.
It was. So our second match, also from the Blue Stars, was Mariah May versus Azumi, which we were excited about, of course, because we love Azumi. We love Mariah May.
We were very excited about this, and last match as far as some of the surprisingness to this. That's not a word. It is now. Surprisingness. So the surprisingness would be Mariah May is one of the funniest people with great, honest to God, comedic timing.
Yes.
She could do stage shows.
Yes.
And it would be wonderful.
She could.
But she's okay. watching her wrestle. I don't have a problem. I've not seen a big hole in her game.
Yeah, no.
You know, it
solid.
It all comes out just fine, but you think more about her getting checked by the ref with the woo, you know.
Yeah, and the onegai
yeah,
shimasu.
right.
Yeah, and the intros.
Right.
You know.
You think about the funny parts in the match. You think about the entrance, yes, with the dance and all this. Oh my God.
She was ready to play.
So Mariah May, I mean, you would think, being the fact of who she was facing in this, that that it wouldn't be. I mean, Azumi has been, man, she's been at the top of that card. She has been one of those who just nonstop, night in, night out, have a hell of a match. They have a hell of every time.
Yeah.
So with this one, I think everybody was picking Azumi. Like,
we were definitely expecting Azumi to win.
Not because it's what we wanted,
no,
but because just character wise and everything, and plus being the first tournament for Mariah May, being the only Gaijin in this tournament.
Yes, it's a big shoes to fill.
and oh my God, listen. From the fact of just taking over right at the first, till you look at things like on the outside of the ring, that power bomb will be in my mind forever, because she it's almost like she readjusts, but it ends up looking so much more powerful because it's like almost,
she got that lift on it,
like almost drop and then up and boom, and I mean the tombstone, just so much, just power moves that were just bloody brilliant.
Yeah, she came out here to show everyone that she's not the comedic relief.
Right.
She's not just some like cute little gaijin that came over and thinks she can play with the Japanese girls.
And she didn't say that beforehand.
No, she gave us no indication.
to her credit. And during, I always look at what the fans are saying, and a lot of new eyes are always on an event like this. And I noticed there was one guy going at this Barbie has some amazing moves,
Yeah.
And that's not an insult. I mean,
no, she looks like a Barbie.
Yeah.
Azumi even tweeted a picture of her like head photoshopped on a kid playing with a doll with Mariah's head. And she's like, I like to play hard. Like, that was the whole story going into this.
Well, she's better play nicer with her Barbies
apparently.
From now on. Because, my God. Listen, I can't say enough good things about this. If you have a way to see this and you have not seen this, go out of your way to see this.
Absolutely.
Especially if you've ever watched a Mariah May match. Now, Raja and I have recently deep dived Mariah and went back to the start of her YouTube from when she was 18 years old.
Yeah.
And kind of watched the journey through like tryouts with, NXT UK to all the way up with training. And we even watched some of her training videos and whatnot. And have really, we respect that journey.
Yes.
Already.
She's really put the work in.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah. And now, I mean, because we knew that work was there. That's where the training part I'm talking about. Like, there was some matches and some moves that she did that you don't see that much.
Yeah.
But, wow. Okay.
I
mean, yeah.
So Mariah May officially has 2 points in the 5-star Grand Prix.
And has
amazing.
Probably leaped up to a somewhat of a favorite.
Yeah, so she's a dark horse for sure.
Yeah.
So next we had a Red Star match, which was Natsuko Tora versus Ami Sourei. And this is a match where we somehow missed one of the key moments of the match, even though we were watching the whole time. I don't know what happened, if we were just like still in shock from the Mariah match or something.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could think is maybe I was tweeting. Maybe
we were looking at Twitter, but I don't know how you watch an entire match and miss a blue mist spot.
Yeah.
How did we miss Ami getting misted in the face?
Yeah, so
it changed the course of the match.
We did totally miss the mist.
Yes.
And I don't know how.
We did not miss these two clobbering the heck out of each other from the start. It was exactly what we expected. Them just throwing hands.
It was a very violent matchup. And, all the way up to the finish, which was the Swanton. And I think I wrote in my notes, I don't think Jeff Hardy did it this way. I honestly thought she killed herself. Yeah, it looked pretty scary. I think she got through there, but it almost looked like she... Watching wrestling with Raja, the Swanton is one of those moves. God,
I clinch every time.
Always. She's like, turn. You know,
it scares me. They
like
wait so long.
Birthing a breach or something, and she's always like hollering out, turn.
I can't. There are a few moves in wrestling that I can't handle. Okay, and that's one of them.
And this one didn't look like it turned.
It didn't. It almost looked like she snapped her neck, but she seemed fine.
Yeah, she's
she
fine.
won the match.
Yeah, it was devastating as hell.
Yeah, 2 points to Natsukatora.
So there you go.
And in her post-match comments, all she could focus on was the fact that Utami was not there at the beginning of the entrance. She was like, where is she? Where did she go? What's going on? And I think Natsukatora is like in love with her or something. I don't know.
Playing games like always and all this, you know.
Oh gosh, yes. That Utami. Yeah. Playing her games.
Well, we'll see how that goes for her.
So after we got over that, we had another Red Star match, which was Natsupoi versus Starlight Kid. A notable rivalry, honestly. Like when these two hook up in any way, it's scary.
Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm worried about them when they get in the ring together because they pull out all the stops and they don't stop moving.
I'm still worried about them
from start to finish. I
mean, you know, the one thing is SLK comes out looking different.
She did, yes. She had the sort of summer mask on with it's got more room to breathe in it, and she looked very like ready for battle.
Yeah, she did, and Natsupoi was the normal evil fairy.
Yes, she looked just as ethereal as ever.
Yes, very very nicely put. And they just started going for broke. They beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah,
they big move after big move. High risk move after high risk move.
Yes.
You never knew who was going to win. It felt like that it could be either one of them all the way up until the very end.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it was back and forth the whole time. We were totally unsure. Every time there was a pin attempt, we were like, ah.
I mean, they honestly put the high speed in high speed. It's unreal how amazing they are.
Yes.
And both of them are just amazing.
And this is the match that elevated your pulse because Natsupoi has a lovely little release suplex.
Jesus.
That just looks like it kills people every single time.
My God.
I don't know why you'd want to take that.
This German release that is so unreal.
Yes.
And it's such a high angle.
Yeah, and she does that bridge without putting her hands down and then just stands back up like nothing happened. Like, please, girl.
Yeah, it's nuts. She got the win.
She did. Not 2 points to Natsupoi.
Yeah, Natsupoi got the win. Not, you know, I'm a big SLK fan.
Yes.
I wanted Starlight to win this, you know, but I'm not angry at it at all.
No, me either. And of course, Natsupoi addressed Starlight Kid in her post-match comments by saying, Starlight Kid's era is over. I won't say stuff like that. Poi and Ki-chan are one mind, one body. Together we advance, together we grow stronger. Let's work hard together and make Stardom interesting from now on.
Yeah.
So she loves facing Starlight Kid, which I don't blame her.
And how
they're
lucky.
Sort of kindred spirits.
To me, it's Dragon Lee and Hiromu Takahashi.
That it does have that same feel. Yes, I got chills just thinking about it.
It's such a beautiful rivalry, and you know, seeing them together in the ring, it's just like exactly like Hiromu and Dragon Lee.
It is because it's terrifying.
It's two, you know, dare I say, aesthetically pleasing, you know, like warriors going at it, and just the beauty of the moves and the definition of the risk of the moves.
Yeah.
Even if you were to miss one, the judge would still give a 9 because of the difficulty.
Right.
You know, that kind of moves.
Yeah, and you know when they announce them facing that it's going to be an incredible match, no matter like where it is or how long it goes.
They're like, rest holds be damned.
Yeah. What is a rest hold?
Yeah, no, rest hold. I'll have a rest hold when I die. I mean, seriously.
When they kill each other.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I want to see more of it.
Oh, I'm sure we will. I don't think these two will ever stop wrestling each other as long as they exist.
I want to see a program though.
Yeah,
I really do.
Really long like storytelling. Yeah. Yes. All right. So the next match, which brings us to the halfway point, was the Blue Star match: Utami Hayashishita versus Mina Shirakawa.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the story in this match was Utami leaving to America, and she wasn't there at the beginning. So when she came out, I think everyone kind of figured she was going to look different.
Right.
But I don't know if they were expecting her to look different in the way that she did. Because it wasn't a different look per se.
Right.
It was a return of an old look via 2020.
Yeah.
With the same gear, the long hair, the Red Queen aesthetic is back. And everyone on Twitter freaked out because, I mean, when you see Utami looking like that, your mind just goes to, she's going to win this whole thing. Like,
right. Exactly.
She's back.
Exactly. And it's funny because you had mentioned something like that to me recently, that sometimes we're forgiving as in the wrestling community, that if someone does look different.
Yeah. If you change yourself, if you go through the process of recreating yourself, we're almost so interested that we're willing to forgive anything else. Like, we're like, okay, let's see what you got now that you've obviously changed.
Right. Yeah. You're trying something.
Yeah.
And look, you know, as in your daily life, sometimes if you change one thing, it's enough to inspire you to do different.
Exactly.
And I think that this might be the inspiration that she needed, that her character needed, to be able to call back. But I was looking for like, kind of like what happened in the Mariah May match. I was looking for something where she comes out and she's just a killer. Yeah,
as much as I was looking forward to this match, it was almost weird and didn't live up to like what I expected to see from Utami when she came back.
Yeah, she sold like hell.
Yeah, because Mina spent most of the match kicking her butt.
The only part that Utami won in this match was the final decision.
Yes, she won the 2 points in the end with her new finisher.
Yes.
Which she apparently got from a very famous American wrestler named Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
She calls it the Shocking Baszler.
Yes.
So that's going to be in use from now on. And of course, she comes back later, which we'll talk about at the end. But
we will. But, you know, she took that DDT on the outside. And from that point, she was selling the neck real hard.
Yes.
And it never really got out of that gear. It was like everything she tried to do when we thought she was having a comeback, Shirakawa just cut it off.
She kept cutting her off and getting near falls.
And huge moves and beat the hell out of Utami.
Yeah.
Until the very end. You know?
And we were like, did she win that match?
Yeah.
She got the points, but it didn't feel like the decisive win that we were expecting from rediscovering yourself.
Then maybe she had a lot on her mind, so we'll see what happens.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So after the intermission, we had another Blue Star match, which was Momo Watanabe versus Mirai. And of course, Mirai is currently the Wonder of Stardom champion. And these two came out just ready to kill each other.
Yeah.
But I was so surprised that Momo didn't take like any low roads. I mean, she tried with the bat once, but she missed. So she completely won this match clean.
Yeah.
And I think she's almost trying to prove that she's back. Like she's in her post-match comments, she mentioned that people had been like making fun of her and like they hadn't really taken her seriously in a while, but she said, keep your eye on Momo Watanabe this year.
Yeah, she seemed really upset with that. And she should be. You know, if it has been people making fun of her or whatever, God, I would hope that wouldn't be the case, considering, you know, things in recent years in that company.
Yeah.
But, you know, just from the fact of people doubting her, you know, I'll be one of them. I mean, it seemed like she has, almost like she was happy. And a lot of the comments I have read has been like, people were like, well, I wonder what happened to her. And other people have been saying, well, she seems happy in what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's happier as a number 2 or 3 than she was as a number 1, it seems.
Right.
Which is never true, right?
Right.
No one's really just happy being a number 2 or 3.
Right.
You know, you want to be a number 1 if you're in this business. If you're not in this business to be a number 1, you're probably in the wrong business. Now, she, like you said, the big story is after the fact. What did she say? Well, she also said that because of this win, this gives me a title shot.
Yes, and it does, absolutely. Because, I mean, Mirai did get some stuff in there, but Momo, like Momo's kicks are so hard. And it just looked like poor Mirai was just taking a beating most of the time.
And let's face it, a lot of people have not been behind this Mirai push.
No, they have not. And I hope they do this match fairly soon. I don't know if Momo's going to win the belt, but
I think that possibly they're like, you know what? We're trying to build this, but we have this that is still young and established.
Yeah.
And
and hasn't been on top for a little while. She's sort of been playing second fiddle there.
I'll tell you what, I want to see the match now, like the championship match.
Yeah, the give them more time and like more stakes, please.
Good job by Momo.
Yes. Next, we had a Red Stars match between Shuri and Suzu Suzuki, which feels like almost the same person.
Okay, so do you want to know the note I have on this one?
What is it?
Spider-Man meme match.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
They're just the same person pointing at each other.
Exactly. Over and over. Like, it may be like the 10 years or 8 years difference, whatever, between the two of them, but they're very much the same fighting style.
Yeah.
And a lot of the same character.
Yeah, and Suzu came into this trying to get like that early win. Like, she went immediately into a cover after 2 moves. She suplexed her on the ramp. Like, she was trying to get Shuri out of this as quickly as possible.
If there's a low light highlight of this entire event, that freaking bump off the apron.
Oh, God.
To the floor.
Oh, God. She just threw Shuri right on the floor for me.
She threw Shuri onto the floor. I mean,
I think they tried to help, but there was no help.
There was nobody down there. I've seen the soul kind of come out of the body a little bit. I mean,
and the sheer like the audacity on Suzu's face whenever Shuri would kick out of her covers is so funny to me. Like, she just feels like this is her time, obviously. And she was like, I'm going to beat Shuri and start this tournament.
Yeah.
On the right foot.
She's one of those people that we've all met that person. They're kind of pushy or a lot pushy. And they just show up and they just, like you said, they feel like this is mine. Like, you don't deserve this. This is mine.
Yes. And Suzu Suzuki is a scary person.
Yeah.
Like, I would have, if she had beat Shuri in this match, I would have been like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think if anything, I was expecting her to wake Shuri up. You know, not that she needs to be woken up, but and I don't think you want to wake that girl up.
No.
Because she is a killing machine.
Speaking of kicks near the end of this match.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And she has them. And oh, by the way, hi, I'm Shuri. How you doing?
Yes. Of course, Shuri did win this match for the 2 points. And in her post-match comments, she seems to have gold in mind. Doesn't everyone? But I wouldn't mind Shuri. Like,
I'd love it.
I mean, she's going to face the champion eventually anyway, so...
No, I love it. I want to see that. I want to see her back in that world.
Me too. Yeah, at least in the conversation. So next we had the Red Stars match between Mayu Iwatani and Hazuki.
Yeah.
Which of course is a Stars match, faction versus faction.
It's the very top of Stars.
And I think they were excited to fight each other. Like, it seemed like they were really excited to be in this match. And as soon as the bell rung... it was a match. Like, they put their silliness aside and just tore the house down.
We know Iwatani does this.
Yes.
On big matches.
Yes.
This did not disappoint. Hazuki does the same thing. You know, like she does the same exact thing. This was killer. This was amazing. This personally was my match of the night.
Absolutely.
I love this match.
It delivered on every front.
Yeah.
I mean, even the one little silly moment in the match where she missed the chop, Mayu did, and and was like, one more time, and did it again, and blasted her.
Oh, yeah.
Even that was perfect.
It was perfect. I mean, and everything about Mayu Iwatani, I just love her. Yeah. I mean, I do, because I like someone who can laugh at themselves.
Yeah. She knows who she is.
It's a lost art.
Yeah. She knows she's silly, but she also knows that she is a wrestler and she will beat you if she gets to that place. We haven't seen that place yet, the zombie Mayu place. But
No, I know, but she is, I mean, she's amazing. And just the whole thing about her, the whole package is very deserved.
Yeah.
She's been loyal. She's been true.
She has.
She is the flag bearer of this company.
Yes. This is her 10th 5-star Grand Prix. I mean, she's the franchise.
One of the original trainees.
Yes.
That didn't leave.
She's held down the fort the
only
whole
one.
time.
Yeah. And
she's loyal if anything.
Even in something she said when she gets challenged, and we'll talk about that coming up. But when she's challenged for that IWGP belt coming up, you know, the one thing she does say is, you know, both of us, and I'm kind of giving this away, burying the lead, but, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
Your girl,
Utami
challenges her later. But one of the things she says is that we both wanted this. We both wanted our chance to get to this and fight to this.
They both wanted to be the first to hold it.
Right. And they weren't really given that chance.
Yeah.
You know, we know why that belt, you know.
Right.
But Mayu Iwatani is not going to give it up.
Right.
Is the way she put it.
She didn't give up to get to it.
Yeah.
And she's not going to give up now.
Yeah. She's like, if you want to keep fighting like I did until you get to it, that's great. And I know you can. I'm not going to be the one that you beat to get
it. I love her so much.
And I believe her when she says that.
Yeah. I kind of went into this match like rooting for Hazuki to like have a little moment. But during the course of the match, I was like, man, I hope Mayu wins.
Yeah, we actually said that. I mean, we were rooting for her.
Yeah, like I would probably have been upset in the end if Mayu hadn't won this match. No. It was well-deserved, a well-deserved 2 points.
Absolutely.
So next we had the semi-main event Blue Star match, Julia versus Saori Anou, which almost had no right to be as insane as it was.
Yeah.
Like, I was not expecting this level of just craziness in this match.
I mean, and we know Julia has the craziness. Like,
we do.
She turns it to 11.
We expect it from Julia.
But like we said earlier, there was a spot early on pretty much where Julia gets thrown onto some chairs from the ramp.
Yes.
And from that point,
off the top of the ramp into the chairs of the crowd below.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, please. Listen, she was going to do it to Saori first, so I kind of understand, but ow.
Dangerous bump, and that woke her up.
Yeah, she got up full of piss and vinegar.
Full on Julia, and it was a full-on Julia match. It was great, you know, really good.
Yes, and it ended up, I mean, Saori Anou got busted open on the top of her head, just blood everywhere, and by the end of the match, like, Julia hit her finisher.
Yeah.
She was there. She was on the cover when the bell rang.
One moment I love is Saori Anou gets the blood on top of her head, and I think it was from being thrown through some chairs.
It seemed like it.
But then Julia just gave no Fs. She was laying there, and they're checking on the head.
She didn't even check
she
on
didn't
her.
even acknowledge it. She didn't even slow down. Like, a lot of times someone would slow down.
Yeah.
Even the ref's like,
give it a second.
The ref's like, I'm checking her head, you know, and she didn't slow down.
No, she grabbed her by the hair.
She picked her up by the hair, puts her on a table, and pile drives her through the table.
Yeah, she did.
And, you know, and it was a brutal table pile driver.
It was. And the thing is, after the match, Saori Anou, who probably should have, like, been hurting and everything, was just sort of staring at Julia like, we just did that.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for giving me that.
Because she's nuts as well.
She is. She is nuts as well.
We know she's crazy.
Yes.
Okay? And
she's the same kind of crazy
She's
as
the
Julia.
same kind of crazy. Exactly. She's the same kind of crazy. I think we really picked that up perfectly during this match, is that they kind of belong together.
They do.
You know?
Like, this was a draw. Please do it again.
Yeah, whether that's being married in the feud or being in the same faction at some point.
Right, yeah. But, I mean, they ended this 1-1, so that the newcomers have done well for themselves so
Big
far.
Big surprise on the draw.
It was. I was totally
won it.
expecting.
I mean, Julia had she hit her finisher,
she did.
and it was going to be a 3, but it wasn't.
No, I knew, like, she lasted the entire time limit, and after the match, she was even smiling backstage. Like, I think she just had a really good time.
Yeah. I mean, it was a classic. I mean, she'll forever have that as a classic.
Yes. Cosmic Angels in general had a great night because of that and the Natsupoi win. And of course, in our final match, Tam Nakano defeated, air quotes, Saya Kamitani. And this match was rearing up to be, you know, like an amazing main event, of course. But of course, it went off the tracks when Saya climbed the light fixture and jumped off for a crossbody, and she just landed wrong on her arm, and we hear it's a dislocated elbow.
So I'm very familiar with that. So with having the dislocated elbow, it's one of the most painful injuries that you can have, and it can go one of two ways coming back. It's not always as easy as you may think. But, I'm not a big fan of the Stardom outside the ring big bumps when you've got all the girls coming around. I get it, having them all there.
Yeah.
But for me, from someone who's done this, when I come to the outside, I like to be able to trust the person that's catching me.
Right.
Okay. And it's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Whenever a spot's happening where I'm going to catch somebody or they're going to catch me, there is a personal conversation.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to trust you.
Right.
And I don't want you to be scared. I don't want, I want you to be able to trust me, because I would risk personal injury, life and limb to make sure that I caught someone else.
Right.
But with that said, when you've got too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right. Gets muddled.
Sometimes they're thinking, well, she's got it. Or she's got it.
Right.
And it don't always come off right. And you can't really properly get somebody if there's too many, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen that.
Yeah. It's a good example of no matter how prepared you think you are, a high risk move is still high risk.
So there's ways of presenting physical violence, and I think you can look at like the Sherry match and see physical violence. Hell, you can look at the Natsupoi match and see physical violence on display at its highest level,
right,
without having the crowd spots. I agree. I'm not a fan.
I think after the Saoriano getting busted open and this, obviously I hope that they kind of cut that out for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, I think
I enjoy the in-ring competition.
Yeah, me too.
Stick to that.
Me too.
I don't mind top rope moves or even apron moves or on the floor outside, but those moves like in the chairs, off of things, just no. I
just think it's unnecessary, because you've got enough risk in the ring.
Yeah.
And you also have enough. Think again, I go back to SLK. That match was heart-stopping.
It was.
Inside the ropes.
Yes, absolutely.
And it can happen.
It can, and it should. Yeah. Especially in a prestigious tournament like this.
Right. You don't have to go to garbage route, which, listen, I'm one to talk, okay? I have an affinity for it. I love it in its place.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, as you put it, in this tournament, that was the place for it anyway, but... Yeah. That's all, we can all be armchair quarterbacks.
Yes. And of course, they all immediately stopped everything and took care of her. Tam was on top of it. She stayed with her the whole time. And Lady C was helping. And they got the stretcher out there. And I just feel so bad for her. She was so upset and obviously in pain. We
were scared.
Yeah, we were holding hands the whole time.
Watching it live, it's just like when you see the ref, just stop.
Yeah, and immediately call for the doctor.
Everybody gets quiet. Of course, Japan being the most respectful place on the planet.
Yeah.
Everybody gets quiet.
Yes. And I also kind of appreciate that they do keep the cameras rolling and kind of let us see it play out, because I feel like it would be worse if they cut everything off or didn't show it and we would just be left there what's happening?
Yeah, because most of the time what we're used to in the States is... Well, here's the latest from Logan Paul.
Yeah, just immediately cut away to something
never
else.
Talk about it again.
Yeah, so we've seen a couple examples of that, but we hope Saya gets better as quickly as possible, and that her elbow is good to go for her return.
I think the earliest with a dislocated elbow would be 6 weeks. So... That's just from my knowledge, if that is what it is.
Yeah, and there's no word as of recording right now what they're going to do moving forward. We assume there will be a replacement for Saya, since this is the first night.
We assume it would be Thekla.
Yeah, we hope it would be Thekla, but we have no idea what they're actually going to do.
Right.
So we can't really speculate on that. But after the match, Tam was doing her little speech, she was like, we should do this again because that's not the way I wanted it to end, obviously. And the lights went out and Tam was kind of joking around. She's like, oh, the lights are out, whatever. But when they came back on, there was a very large woman in the ring.
Yes, very large woman.
Who identified herself as the Megasis, Megan Bain, who we've seen before.
Yes.
And she's just an impressive specimen in general.
Oh, yeah.
But she just took it to Tam and challenged her for the World of Stardom title, like right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, and she's large in charge.
She is, and she's like, she always performs every time we see her in the ring. So I'm excited that she's here and apparently has come back with one Utami Hayashishita.
yeah, she followed her back.
That's such a weird way to put it.
You can't let Utami go anywhere.
No, she just brings strays home.
She talks to Shayna's, and she, shows up on...
She grows her hair so fast.
Shows up on Ring of Honors and all this stuff. I mean, she had a hell of a week and a half, didn't she?
She did. She made a friend and brought her back with her.
Big giant friend.
A big old friend, yes.
Yeah, so I'm interested. If the injury had not happened and Kamitani was in the ring, how does that play out?
I don't know.
See, in my mind, does Utami come out, the lights go out still? Does both people get beat up?
Right, because Saya's, of course, in Queen's Quest.
Has Saya and, has Saya and Tom during that match, have Tam and Saya like earned respect?
Sort of like the Natsupoi deal.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that, like them like shaking hands and doing the whole thing, after a really good match. And then maybe Saya doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
Or maybe she does know and she helps. I don't know.
I can see it where she didn't know. I don't know what was going to happen.
Me either.
But can you imagine the high drama?
Yeah, that would be crazy if
it would go right back to that.
Yeah, that whole Queen's Quest inner turmoil thing.
Right.
And of course, they weren't done with just challenging Tam for the red belt, because Utami, of course, wants the IWGP Women's Championship shot, which Mayu said, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you're not going to beat me.
Yeah, no, you're not going to beat me. You're not going to take my belt, but I will wrestle you for it.
And that's exciting. That puts Utami right back there in the conversation.
It does, yes.
We've got some hellacious matches. I mean, we've had this event gave us some great matches, great events, memorable things. Yes. And also built for the future and built the future of the tournament and other things.
Yes, because of course, over the course of the tournament, it's not like the G1 where every show is like all block matches all the time and they've got pay-per-views laced in there. And so you still have storylines running and other matches going on around the tournament. And next weekend will be the next little grouping of tournament matches. On the 29th, we have 3 Blue Star matches. Sarianu versus Mariah May, the 2 newcomers. Julia versus Hanan. And Mirai versus Mina Shirakawa. Wow. And then on the 30th, the next night, we were supposed to have Saya Kamitani versus Natsukatora, so I guess that'll be a replacement. Suzuki versus Natsupoi. Ow.
Yeah,
already.
That's a bad one.
And Mirai versus Hanan.
Okay.
So those are the next little group that you will see next weekend.
Definitely excited.
Look forward to those.
About the Suzuki match.
Yes, Suzuki versus Natsupoi is definitely going to steal the show, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely one to look for.
Yes.
So very excited about everything coming up.
Oh man, there's so much.
Great show.
Yes. It's been quite the week in women's wrestling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a wonderful week with the Ring of Honor main event, with the Rampage main event, with and with this freaking event.
Yes, this entire card.
So
regardless of what happened, it was an amazing show.
And we will end the show with our top 5.
Yes.
Because normally that would be something we would do at the front, but if we got something to go over, obviously there's probably a reason that we had to wait for the top 5.
Right.
So give us the number 5.
All right.
You want me to give you the number 5?
Thank you. Number 5, we have Mariah May, of course, for her shocking win in the 5-star.
Well deserved. Hopefully she can stay in the top 5, but this is all about, how did you make us feel?
Yes, it is, exactly. And we were very proud of her. Right. Next, we have
number 4.
Number 4, we have Chris Statlander for her successful defense of her TBS title on Rampage.
And some other things that are going on, some stats.
Some stats for stat.
But that puts us up to number 3.
Number 3 this week, we have Rhea Ripley still holding strong there in the top.
And you know, the thing with her is she recently had like the big super show in Mexico City, where she defeated Becky and Natalya on July 22nd. But also going back to something we didn't talk about, July 3rd, she had a match with Natalya on Monday Night Raw. It went like 13 minutes. And, you know, just freaking incredible match.
She's rearing up, and I really hope we get to see her against Raquel at SummerSlam.
That'd be amazing. Number 2, we
have a tie. It's Julia and Mayu Iwatani because of their incredible standout performances.
Yeah, and it was the same kind of thing. It was like two people we expected to do great.
Yes, but blew the lid off of our expectations.
Yes, did even better versions of who they are.
They did. Yes, the best versions.
Yes.
And that brings us to
number 1.
Number 1 this week is Athena.
Yes.
Becoming the longest reigning Ring of Honor Women's Champion, winning that match against Willow in the main event. Wrestling is Athena.
Wrestling is Athena.
She deserves it.
Yeah, she does. Deserved. And it was fantastic. No cheat, huge win.
Yes, absolutely.
That was it. And wrestling is her. And I hope you love listening to it because we love doing it.
Yes, we do. And you can expect to see us back here next week with all of the amazing things happening in the world of women's wrestling. We hope you'll tune in, and we'll see you then. I'm Raja.
And I'm John.
See